Hey guys, it's Cori here. I'm still here in Sydney, still here at my friend Mike's apartment, but I think this is going to be the last day filming videos in this location because tomorrow I move into my own place, or in my own room in a house with other people, but a little closer to having my own place. I've been in Sydney for about a month now, almost a month, and just about every day I've been practicing and studying with this amazing, very experienced Ashtanga yoga instructor named Eileen Hall. And even though I've been doing this practice for so long, like definitely over 10 years for sure, I just feel so interested every day. I never feel bored or like I don't want to do it. I feel like there's so much space to explore and I'm constantly having a new experience every time I step onto my mat. But with that said, it's kind of a double-edged sword because the more I learn, the more I realize how much I don't know and how much deeper and deeper there is to go into the practice. So the sequence I'll share today is a little bit of what I've been learning since I've been here and how my practice has changed a little bit already. And I hope you find that as you're going along in your yoga journey, that it becomes as rewarding, as fulfilling, and as enriching as mine has been for me. So today we'll get started in a child's pose. If you'd like to join in, come on down to your mat. So to come into your child's pose, spread your knees nice and wide, and if it hurts your knees when you bend them really deeply, you would just roll up a towel or a blanket and slide it right in between where the fold is. Then you'll sit your hips back onto your heels, walk your hands as far out in front of you as they go, and ground your forehead onto the mat. If your forehead doesn't come all the way up, fold your hands like a pillow so you have something to rest it on. And that will just give your mind and your body a sense that it can relax, and that it's safe and supported, and that you can begin to let go of anything that you've been worrying about or holding on to, and start to just sink into your breath here. So take a long, deep breath through your nose. Feel your belly and your ribs fill all the way up. And then take your first exhale out your mouth. Let the breath slide out in between your lips. Inhale, fill up through the nose. Expand all the way down through your rib cage, down into the deepest part of your low belly. And another time, exhale out the mouth. Inhale, long, deep breath, nice and smooth. And this time, exhale right back out the nose, closing off your lips. And breathing out from the back of your throat. Inhale, fill up. And exhale right back out your nose. And take another breath here just like that. And then crawl up onto your fingertips, press them down into the mat. Grow a little longer through the sides of your waist and start to walk both hands over to the right side, all the way off of your mat onto the floor. I always have to pick up my belly and lay it back down over my thigh. And what you want to do here is get as long as you can through the sides of your rib cage. So you can press through your finger pads or through your palms. Try to let your neck stay relaxed. That's a reminder I have to tell myself. And here, think about stretching from your left sitting bone all the way out through your left fingers. If you need extra, take your left hand, place it on top of your right hand, and push down. And think about that extension from your sitting bones out through the side of your waist, the side of your ribs, all the way up through your shoulders and your fingers. And take an inhale breath here. Exhale, keep the length as you let the breath out. And then inhale, walk both hands through the center. Over to the left side, pick up your belly if you need to, drape it over your other thigh. And this time we'll press down through the right fingers or palm, reaching out all the way through the right sitting bone, trying to get it down toward your heel. It's okay if it doesn't go all the way there. And if you need some more stretch, take your right hand over your left hand and push down into both palms. Stretch long through the right side of your body. But still keep some length in the left side too. Inhale, relax into the back of your neck. Stay long as you breathe out. Walk the hands back toward the top of your mat. Press back into the child's pose for one more breath. Inhale here. And then exhale, let it go. Make your way up into a tabletop position. Wrists under your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. On an inhale, draw your heart forward in between your biceps. Take your gaze and your nose a little bit up. Then exhale, press down through the palms. Keep your arms nice and straight and let your chin tuck down into your chest. Inhale, lengthen the spine as you draw forward into your cow pose. Roll the shoulders back, spread wide across your collarbones. And exhale, round through the upper back. Push your shins and your fingers and your palms down into the floor. Inhale, open up. Feel like your shoulder blades are pressing your collarbones open. And keep your fingers spread nice and wide, pressing down evenly. Keep pushing them down and keep the arms straight as you draw into cat pose. One more round like that. Inhale, open through the chest. Just a little tiny lift through the sitting bones. And then exhale, scoop the sitting bones down toward the floor. Let your back round. And come back through center. Rise up onto your fingertips so you can step the right foot up in between your hands pretty close to your right thumb. Then push down through the front heel. Make sure your knees stacked right over it. We'll come up into Anjaneyasana. You'll take your arms right up by your ears. Yeah. And then inhale, draw back a little bit. Draw your hips back over your back knee. Exhale, sink down into your front hip. Inhale, draw back a little bit. Exhale, let your hips sink lower if it feels good, if they're like asking to open up. You don't have to go as deep as I'm going, or you could go deeper. And one more time, inhale, draw back. Exhale, let the hips sink down. And then come back up through center. We'll take the left arm forward and the right arm back, so you start to come into an easy twist here. Imagine like the fingertips are being pulled in opposite directions, and keep your torso up nice and high. Inhale down into your belly. And exhale, feel yourself grow a little taller. Keep pushing the right heel down as the crown of your head reaches high. And come back up through center on your next inhale. And then take your right hand down to your hip. We'll stretch the left fingers long and get another side body stretch, reaching up and over. Yeah. And let the right hip keep hugging in. It stays straight and protected so the hips aren't moving that much. The length comes through your side body and your ribs as you reach over and up. We'll take it into a little bit deeper of a twist. So you'll start to take your elbow, left elbow, hook it to the outside of your right knee. So keep the length in both sides of your body. If it crosses all the way over, bring your palms together. If it feels uncomfortable to be here, just stay upright in our upright twist. But hips are staying mostly the same, so the right hip's hugging back and in. The inner thighs are drawing together, so you still lift up out of your belly and stay nice and long through your torso. And take another breath here. Then inhale, unwind, we'll reach high. Exhale, bring your hands or your fingers down to the mat and slide your right knee back to meet your left back to our tabletop. Switch out the feet, left foot steps forward, pretty close to your left thumb. And then stack the knee right over the heel in the front, push down through the heel, rise up into Anjaneyasana. Arms come up by your ears, trying to be at shoulder distance, but they can be a little wider if your shoulders are tight. Then inhale, draw back, bringing the hips back over the back knee. Exhale, sink down as deep as feels good to you. Inhale, draw back. Exhale, sink down. The knee in the front can go a little bit past your ankle, but nothing too crazy or exaggerated. Once more. Exhale into it, opening up the hips little by little. And then you'll find your way into your Anjaneyasana with the hips as low as they need to be. Take your right arm forward, left arm back, come into that easy twist. Inhale, grow tall up through your belly. Exhale, let the twist come from your belly, so your arms are just drawing nice and wide. Hips are staying pretty much the same here. And next inhale, come up through center. Take your left hand down onto your left hip and reach your right fingers up and over. So make sure you get the up part before you go over so you have length in both sides, just like in our child's pose. And you should still feel some hip opening here, especially in the front of your right hip. We'll take it a little deeper into our twist. So keep reaching up and out with the ribs, and then hook the right elbow to the outer left knee. If it comes there, bring the palms together. If it doesn't quite come there and you want to stay upright, this is a fine twist too. If you have your elbow against the knee, press your knee into your elbow so you create some resistance there. Draw your left hip back and in and squeeze the inner thighs together like you're trying to grow up longer through your waist and your torso. Deep breath here. Steady exhale. Inhale, unwind, take the arms up high. Exhale, bring the hands down to your mat. Slide your left foot back and left knee back in line with your right. Tuck your toes under, lift the hips up, come to your first downward facing dog. And take the feet to at least hips distance. Bend the knees a little deeper, especially if your hamstrings are tight. And then reach your sitting bones up and back toward where the wall's meeting the ceiling behind you, if you're near a wall. I like to pedal out my feet a little bit, get comfortable here, begin to open up the backs of the legs. Then let your heels grow a little bit heavier. Maybe start to straighten the legs, maybe not. But try to keep the sitting bones reaching up and back, trying to take any rounding out of your low back. Inhale, rise up onto the balls of your feet and take little steps up to the top of the mat. And keep your feet at least hips distance apart here. You might grab opposite elbows or take a little sway from side to side. Let the head and the neck be heavy. And then let your arms release and hang down too. Bend your knees a little deeper, round, roll your way up to standing, or press your way up if that feels better on your back. Bring the feet together, big toes touching, heels a little bit apart. Roll the shoulders and the chest open. On your next inhale, reach your arms out and up overhead. If your palms come together, you might try looking up toward your thumbs. On your exhale, hinge at your hips. Lean a little bit forward, weight comes evenly between the heels and the balls of your feet. Fold in. On an inhale, lift up halfway. Take your hands to your shins or fingers on the floor, open the chest. And then exhale, plant your hands. Step one foot back and then the other. Lower your knees for the first round. We'll come all the way down to your belly, elbows nice and tight in toward your body. Untuck the toes, press the tops of the feet and all 10 toes down. Inhale, rise up for a low cobra. Exhale, come back down, retuck your toes, press through hands and knees, come to your downward facing dog. And take 3 deep breaths here to get reset into your dog. And take another inhale, lengthen the spine, lift the sitting bones up and back. Stay here, exhale. Inhale, feel the heels grow heavy, hamstrings and calves get a nice stretch. And then inhale, rise to the toes. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Take a big step or a few steps to get your feet up to the top. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Root down through the feet. Take your arms high all the way up and overhead. And then exhale your hands through heart center and take them down by your sides. We'll do another sun salutation A here. Inhale, get really long through the sides of your waist, stretch nice and high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine, open the chest. Exhale, step back to your plank pose. This time you might keep the knees lifted and you can lower halfway to chaturanga or all the way down. Inhale, rise up for upward facing dog where your arms are straight and thighs are lifted, or your cobra for another round. Exhale, we'll meet back in downward facing dog and we'll stay here for 3 breaths. Big long inhale. Exhale, keep pressing down through the fingers, the knuckles, and the base of the palms. Spread out the weight so it's not all going into your wrists. Inhale, rise to the balls of the feet. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Bring your feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold in. Press into the feet. We'll come all the way up, reach the arms high. Then exhale, lower the hands down to your heart and down by your sides. Inhale, stretch the arms up and overhead. Interlace your fingers with the pointers and the knuckles facing out. We'll take an inhale to lengthen. And exhale, side bend over to the right. You can keep feeling the length in both sides of your body, just like in our child's pose, just like in our side bend in our lunge. Inhale, come up through center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, up through center. Separate your hands to shoulder distance, but keep the palms facing in. Start to sit your hips back and down low. Come into your chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale, stretch from your sitting bones out through your fingertips. Hug your low ribs in. Exhale, sit a little deeper. Take another breath here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back. If you like to jump back, we'll jump to chaturanga or step to plank. Lower halfway or all the way down. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Take your choice. Exhale, come back to your downward dog. And then on an inhale, draw your right knee into your chest. Exhale, look forward. Try to step your foot up in between your hands, pretty close to your right thumb. And then spin your back heel flat. So you'll have your heels in the same line or a little bit wider. Press down into both feet. We'll rise up into warrior one. So press down through the front heel. Press down through the outer edge of the back foot to keep it nice and grounded, back leg nice and strong. Then take your right hand down onto your right hip. Reach up and out through your left fingers, and it's almost like a little twist here. So you're letting your hips open up a little to the left side, but your ribs are trying to face forward. Inhale, reach high through your left arm, bring your right arm up to meet it. Exhale, hands come down to frame your front foot. Either step to your plank pose or to your down dog. Take a vinyasa here if you like, or take a few breaths in downward facing dog. Then draw your left knee in toward your ribs. Look forward, shift your shoulders over your wrists. Try to step your foot up in between your hands, as close to your left thumb as you can get it. We'll spin the back heel flat. Take warrior one on the second side. Press down into your front heel. Press the outer edge of your back foot and your back heel down. Your hips will probably open up a little to the right. Let that be okay. And then take your left hand down to your left hip. Inhale, grow long through the right side of your body and try to square your ribs off to the front of your mat. Yeah. So hips get a little extra opening. Ribs, let a little bit of a twist come into the torso. Reach longer through your right arm. Bring the left arm up to meet it. Big breath in. Exhale, hands come down. You choose if you take a flow here or if you skip it, it's up to you. Take what you need. And take 2 more deep breaths here in your downward dog. And then on your next inhale, lift high onto the balls of your feet. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Hop, step, or walk your feet up to your hands. Inhale, lengthen to that halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Sit your hips low, thighs working their way parallel to the floor. Arms come up by your ears. Inhale. And then exhale, press into your heels to come all the way up to standing. Lower your hands down by your sides. Step your feet a little bit wider apart. And then begin to ground into your right foot. Keep your right leg as straight and strong as you can, and bring your left knee up in line with your left hip. Flex through the left foot. Reach the arms up nice and high by your ears. Keep hugging the belly in here. And then take your left hand down to your left hip, and a little challenge to your balance. Get longer through the right fingertips and the sides of the body. Stretch your right arm up and over. Come back up through center, reach both arms up by your ears, and then step the left foot way, way back on your mat so you're up on the ball of your foot in a high lunge. Straighten out your back leg as much as you can. Press the back of the back thigh up towards the ceiling. Take a deep bend in your front knee, working it parallel towards the floor. And then bring your right hand down to your right hip. Get really long through your left side body. Start to reach out and up. Then hook your elbow around the outside of your right knee like we did when the knee was down. Stay here with the palms together, or take yourself into the upright version of the twist if you want to stay up there. Keep bending into your front knee so the knee's right over the heel. Keep lengthening through the sides of the waist and twisting from your rib cage and from your belly. And take one more breath here. On your exhale, gently lower your back knee down. Next, inhale, we'll unwind from the twist, take the arms high. And exhale, take your fingers down to the mat. Draw the hips back, flex through your front toes, half splits. And keep your right leg nice and active. Draw your heart forward towards the top of your foot. Then re-bend into your front knee. Frame your foot with your hands and tuck your toes under. Lift the back knee up. We'll step the left foot up to meet the right foot. Forward fold here. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Press down into the feet. Come all the way up to standing. And take your hands down onto your hips. Ground down into your left foot this time, making that leg as straight and strong as you can, and draw your right knee up in line with your hip. Flex your right leg. Reach your right arm up towards the sky, and another challenge to your balance. Get longer through your sides. Reach the right arm up and over. And keep length in the right side as well as in the left side. Come back through the center. Take both arms up high. And then step your right foot all the way to the back of your mat. You might take your feet a little wider apart. Rise onto the ball of that back foot and try to straighten out your right leg as much as you can. Bring your left hand down onto your hip. Take the right arm, stretch it up and over. And then if it's easy, if you can get your ribs around, hook your elbow to the outside of the left thigh. Maybe bring the palms together or take yourself upright for a little gentler version of the twist. Take what works for you and what keeps your hips nice and in line, back leg nice and straight. And keep the ribs twisting and the sides of the body lengthening. Take another in-breath here. And on your exhale, set your back knee down gently. Inhale, unwind, reach the arms high. Exhale, bring the fingertips down to the mat. Draw your hips back, straighten out your front leg as best you can, and reach your heart forward. Re-bend into your front knee. Plant your hands down into the mat and lift your back knee up. You'll step back to a plank pose and take a vinyasa here if you like, or meet in downward facing dog. And take another 2 breaths here in your down dog. then start to walk your feet about halfway up your mat. Bend your knees along the way so your hips come down to your heels and you'll come into a seat. Stretch the legs straight out in front of you. Then bend the right knee in and up toward your chest. Let the knee fall out to the side. And you'll bring the right foot right into your left inner thigh. Flex your left toes here. And then take your right arm, stretch it up to the sky. Left hand can stay on your hip or come a little out to the side for leverage. Then press your right sitting bone down into the floor. Reach the right fingers high so you're already getting long through your right side body. Take your right hand all the way out to the outside of your foot. Inhale long through the side of your waist. And if you'd like to cross it over, you can add your left hand to the inside of your left foot. Inhale, lengthen. You might stay here. If you need some extra stretch, you could come down. But keep imagining like there's kind of a tug of war going on between your right sitting bone pressing back and the right side of your rib cage lengthening and twisting so your body is going more straight over your leg instead of down into the center. And keep the left foot active, flexing. Feel a stretch along the side of your body. Inhale, look up towards your foot. Exhale, release the foot and come up. Draw your knee up through the center, and then step your right foot to the outside of your left leg. Bring your right fingers back behind to support you. Inhale, take the left arm high, and then you could hook the elbow around or hug the knee in toward your chest, whatever helps your spine sit up nice and long. Twist coming from your belly, and shoulders down away from your ears. And still here, both feet are active, so your left foot is flexing, your right foot is pressing down into the mat. The spine's growing nice and tall, both sitting bones rooting down evenly into the floor. Next breath in, unwind. Uncurl your body, straighten your right leg out. Draw the left knee in and let it fall out to the side. Flex your right toes. Take your right hand to your hip or right next to your hip. Inhale, left side long, left arm high. Press the left sitting bone down to grow a little taller. And then reach up and out of the waist to maybe take your left hand all the way out to the outside of your foot. Stay here, or if it adds something, take your right arm across. Keep pressing the left sitting bone back and drawing long through your whole left side. Right foot stays nice and active, flexing. Maybe you come a little closer toward your right thigh. Next, inhale, look up towards your foot. Exhale, release it. Take the left knee up through center and step that foot to the outside of your thigh. Flex your right toes. Bring the left fingers back behind to support your spine, right arm up high. And then hug your knee in or hook your elbow. Feel yourself settle into the twist. Maybe look out over your back shoulder. Keep the feet nice and active, so lots of attention in your feet still. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, unwind. Straighten out your left leg. And we'll do something right down the middle after we've been doing things on both sides all day. Inhale, sit up tall, lengthen through the sides of the torso. Exhale, fold forward from your belly. Hands might grab onto the sides of the feet or around your toes, or you could just let them hang down heavy. Every inhale, get a little longer through your spine. Every exhale, sink a little deeper into the stretch. Inhale, gaze up towards your feet. Exhale, come back up to seated. We'll roll down all the way onto your back. And draw the right knee up and into your chest. Give it a squeeze. And then cross it all the way over your body. Spread your arms out wide or like a T shape. And gaze out over your right shoulder. Roll onto your back through the center. Bring your left knee in, give it a squeeze, straighten out your right leg. Cross the left knee all the way over your body. Spread out your shoulder blades onto the mat. Let your gaze come out over your left shoulder. Nice, easy, restorative twist here. Roll back through center. Bring the right knee up to meet your left knee. Reach down in between the legs to take happy baby pose. You'll grab for the ankles or the outer edges of your feet. And give yourself a little rock back and forth, or even around in some circles. Whatever feels good in your body. And as you're ready, you'll move into your final resting pose. And you'll stretch the feet out long on your mat. And let the arms relax by your sides with the palms facing up. And feel the eyes drop closed. And let yourself softly settle into your Savasana. Thank you guys so much for practicing with me. And I hope that no matter for how long you've been doing this or what your practice looks like or what you can do and what you can't do, I hope you find that every time you step on the mat is a new opportunity for learning something about yourself and about your body, and that you're just keeping things interesting and staying interested in the whole process. As usual, comment below if you have any questions or any requests for other videos, but otherwise keep enjoying your yoga practice. Thank you for being here. Namaste.